Hello, Flosstube. This is Stitchy Dutchy. I thought I'd record another video and share what I'm working on, and maybe talk a little bit about, well, maybe not why I decided to have a big hiatus in recording. Maybe I will start with the beginning of my stitching and why I started Flosstube. Well, it's in the description of my channel, but I will tell you anyway. So let me first tell you what I'm working on. What you see here is the dried flowers by Kim Jacobs. It's a Heaven and Earth design, and I'm working on it in Royal Rose. And I'm at the moment at the second row, and I did 2 towers, if you're familiar with the terms of the method. So it's 4 squares altogether, and I worked away all the parked threads, and it's not much left, but I think I'll do the least to most stitches, or maybe just fill in the colors depending on how they are scattered on the pattern. Let me show you the pattern first. Sorry about the glare. This is it on a PDF. And if you would look on the website, I think it's about in the same colorway. So it's watercolor or sketching, I don't know, but it's very detailed, but not very clear. So this is the mock-up on Saga. And I think the colorway is much warmer. The brown tones seem to be a little more than in the mock-up. I'm sorry, on the PDF. And I think this is about the way it's gonna turn out. So it does look a bit different from the information I got from the HAED website and the PDF, but I like it this way. So yeah, I just think I'm gonna stitch a little bit. So let me see. Oh, great, it's very confetti heavy. I'm in confetti paradise. I don't call it confetti hell because when I don't want to stitch confetti, I just take one of my other whips. And I'm happy I can change between them. I can rotate. So just for this one stitch, I'm gonna thread a needle. And I sometimes hear it referred to just one stitch, literally one stitch. I think, yeah, well, if you've got 2 stitches, why don't you say literally just 2 stitches? No, but this one is literally just one stitch. Right over here. Yeah, my ninja stitches. I do them mostly like this. I start my thread from 2 blocks, 2 stitches away from my starting point for this stitch. And I do the catch the tail method. So, oh, sorry about the camera. This way the tail is caught with the thread underneath, and I tend to do a loop finish. So that way the stitch is secured, and I just come up, well, in this case I can park in the next tower. But if it's just one stitch, I still like to secure it a little bit extra, because there's a lot of parking going on, and well, I just don't want the stitches to come out. So let me mark off that stitch, and Saga will tell me or do the suggestion of my next stitch, and that's the one I would have picked myself. And it's another ninja stitch, and in this case there's no parking anywhere near it, so I will just stitch it and end it. And talk a bit about why I started stitching. A long time ago, well, not a long time ago that I started stitching, that was in 2017. But before that I was going to school. I did a master, a bachelor in engineering. And when I bumped you again. When I graduated, I was thinking about doing a master, or maybe skip a year before I went to school again. And that year I wanted to do some nice things for myself. So my mom was very creative, and I started out going to art school because she was a paintress. And I quickly found out that was not my thing. I started crocheting, and I liked that. And I liked working with threads and yarn. And I was very intrigued by the anatomy of socks. So I started sock knitting. And that was, the yarn is a lot thinner than what I used for crocheting. And I liked that. I liked the intricate way the stitches looked. And on Facebook I came across cross stitching. I thought, oh, well, that's maybe also an option. And I tried it. It was not immediately heaven and earth. It was a pattern that was in a stitch along by a Dutch designer, Marie Mamat, and she designs patterns that look a bit like Celtic, but it's not really Celtic. So I started that pattern, and I visited a few workshops, and she told me how you could design on fabric. And I tried that, but I posted that on Facebook, and by posting I think I triggered the algorithm, and I got some posts from other stitches, and that was from a Heaven and Earth Design. And it was not on the official group, it was on the subgroup, Dutch, really official and approved by HAED in the US. But the Dutch Facebook group Heaven and Earth, and they had a freebie. I don't know what the celebration was, but I downloaded the freebie. That was Sunflower Bee. And oh, I have to mark off my stitch and pick the next color in, meanwhile. Sunflower bee, and that was my first real cross stitch. And not knowing anything about stitching, I picked the only fabric that was available at our LNS, and it was a 25 count. And I tried, of course, like it's on the website, with 2/1, and I couldn't do it because it's way too bulky. And I restarted doing 1/1 full cross on 25 count, and that was what I liked to stitch. So I wouldn't say I quickly finished that, because a HAED is not quickly finished, but it took me about 9 months and it was finished. And then I thought, well, I've learned so much, and now I'm a pro, and I can stitch anything I want in half the time it took me. So I bought about 4 minis and a regular size, with the plan to stitch that in the next year. Well, it's not hard to tell that that didn't work. That didn't work out at all. I did finish the regular. That was Childhood Sweethearts. And I kept stitching. Meanwhile, learning more and more about ways to finish, ways to start, stitching methods like this one. I also can call Alison one of my friends, Zoom stitchy friends. We met on Zoom on a regular basis. But yeah, also that was years ago. Somehow that group, well, it still exists, but we don't meet as much as we did back then. But I still use the method on some of my whips, amongst this one and a few others. So I like it. It's very structured and very yeah, well, you don't have a lot of progress if you got a lot of confetti and a lot of color changes, but it keeps you going, because every tower is a mini finish. So I like it. So that's how I got into cross stitch. I'm not the one that has been cross stitching for years and years and was taught by my mum. I explained that in my previous video, that I kind of miss that look over the shoulder experience and learning from watching someone else do that. And that's why my recording is in this angle. So I hope you well, enjoy looking at my working, my stitching this way. And oh, well, not if I keep bumping the camera, of course. It's another one that is just one stitch. In this case, I will not do the loop finish. I will do a little boomerang. I explained that last video. It's coming up at the starting point, just before you pull the top leg tight, and in this case I also can park underneath. You can just see my needle coming up on the screen. So let me find my position. And another ninja stitch to come. Oh, just a few more. .317 pewter gray, dark or very dark. Well, pewter gray anyway. So the loop finish, I start my first leg, I come up again, go down in that same hole, come up again, just across that on the top left, go through the loop and down bottom right again. And that's a very secure way of ending your thread. Not that I'm gonna end it, I'm gonna use it later, parking, just to be sure. Next ninja. Well, maybe I can surprise you with another kind of finish. Oh, I didn't mention the count I'm working on. This is 20 count Aïda. So it's a little different to work on, and that's why I can show you another way to finish that I wouldn't use on a 25 count. So I start my stitch like always, just a few stitches away and catching the tail. Right, there's a bit of loose hanging thread underneath, so straighten my parked threads. Coming up in the same position like I would just do any other cross stitch. I will go down top left, come up again bottom left, like with the boomerang. But in this case, I'm gonna split the fabric thread. Wait, maybe I can zoom you in just a little bit more. Oh no, that's out. So just before I pull the top leg tight, I split the fabric thread like you would with a tuck in. But it's easier to reach when you don't have the top leg pulled yet. So there it is. And this was invented by Nikki Stitchy, and we named it the buckle up. So that's a bit different than you would with a normal tuck in. Then you would go in between the fabric underneath the stitch, and in this case you go you split the fabric underneath the stitch you worked on. So I like to come up in a bit away, split the fabric thread and just cut it. Oh, well, let me just show you the stitch I just did is secure. No, I have to do that with my left hand, otherwise you can't see the stitch. Yeah, it was this one. So you're not gonna pull that out by accident. So we had three finishes. We had the loop finish, we had the boomerang, and we had the buckle up. There you go. And you know why I started. No, not why, but how I came in touch with cross stitch. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna fill in this area and then go move to the next tower. And with that, I can show you by just getting these part threads to the other side. So this is the area I'm gonna work on next. Because of the number of part threads, I'm gonna just do one tower, 2 blocks, and I'm gonna work that with the working in the part threads first. So the way I will do that, I'll get them out of the way. I start with the bottom one and then the next one, and working my way up. Well, just the opposite of reading direction, really. So from bottom right, going up, working away the threads. And that's because I park them mostly from the tower above and in the highest position. So this one, yeah, in most cases will not have conflict with the threads above, because this color is not in that area. And yeah, that's sums up what I'm gonna do next. And that's about the reason I started to Flosstube. In the time we had our Zoom Stitchy Friends gatherings. That was years ago. That was also in the lockdown period, so at least 6 years ago. I felt the need to share my, the things I invented, the techniques I developed myself, because I didn't have any cross-stitching examples or education. So I was struggling in the beginning and trying to find my tips and tricks from Flosstube, and back in that days there was not too much content. Needlebug was out there, and I'm very glad with all she put out on Flosstube. She was my teacher. My stitching example. I also used her, the method she's very well known for, the diagonal stitching. I tried that out, but yeah, most of the ways I do now are a combination of everything that's out there and a bit of myself. Like that loop finished. I don't know, I invented it. I don't know if I was the first to do it. I do know that even Needlebug, who has a lot of stitching experience for over decades, didn't know about it because she was attending in one of our Zoom groups. And it was that stitch that I recorded. I started recording with my phone on my fabric, so it's not very clear, but the video is still out there. And yeah, I didn't even know that when I put it on YouTube that I would have my own channel. So I'm a Flosstuber by accident. I just wanted to be able to find back that recording in case someone on Facebook was asking about it, or I had to share it in a personal message or something like that. So I put it out on YouTube, not knowing that thereby I was a Flosstuber. And well, of course, the name Stitchy Dutchy, you can hear that in my accent, I think. I'm Dutch and I'm stitching, so. And for those who know me, my real name is Joyce, and for those who don't know me, I'm still Joyce, and I'm very happy to share everything I like to share. I don't think I will ever do a whip parade. I don't think I will ever do a live stream. But who knows, maybe in the next future I will change my mind and do some stuff. I also don't like to edit. Maybe I will put a thumbnail but nothing fancy. So next time, I don't know, if I don't find another subject to talk about, I will maybe tell you about my Flosstube hiatus, why I didn't record for a long time. And until then, happy stitching. Until next time. Bye bye.